last and final Q&A session on the Penta Requordit kickoff. We're going to be looking to have Requordit start taking over all of the OnBase and support and upgrades starting in early June. So we wanted to use this session to have Requordit introduce themselves to you and really just answer any questions that you may have regarding the process, the relationship, their features and functions, their capabilities, whatever it happens to be. So please go ahead and jump in with any questions that you might have during the session. If not, we'll ask for questions once Al's gone through his presentation. With that said, I'll hand it over to Al.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Al Kundrick. I am with Requordit, and I'm here to welcome you to our group. So let's just jump right in here. It's a short agenda. I try to keep it short and sweet, but as Randy said, please jump in with any questions you might have regarding the relationship or anything that we're talking about today. So a little bit about me. I'm the account executive for you and for the Penta folks. I've been with Requordit since 2015. I have worked with OnBase for 24 years, OnBase specific, and I spent 18 and a half of those years working at Highland Software in the development department as a QA person, as a product evangelist, as a product manager, directly for the VP of QA over there. So I've had a lot of different roles, and prior to this role, I was a professional services manager for our team here at Requordit, scoping projects, doing implementations, everything. So I have a very technical background, and now I've been asked to, take care of all you folks. So we have 3 offices. We have an office in Chicago, one in Mexico City, and one in Gurnee. Gurnee is about 30 or 40 minutes north of Chicago. So you know that. Who are we? I guess that's the important part. We've had over 20 years of OnBase experience, 24 with myself. Our president and CEO, Mark Buckley, I've known him for pretty much that entire 24 years. We are a premier OnBase construction partner, so when Highland gets something regarding construction, AP, document management, et cetera, they pretty much contact us and forward those leads on to us. So we have a lot of experience in the construction industry. It's our main focus, but we also do energy. We do higher education. We are all over the place. So we have a lot of experience, a lot of wealth in a lot of different verticals. So we're able to help pretty much on any level. We have a full staff of OnBase support and engineering professionals here. All of them have many years of experience under their belt. And as Randy said, we offer a wide range of services, right? Not just OnBase related, but we do other things as well. And we'll kind of get into that as we go on. So what's our role going to be? Our role is going to be your support and professional services resource with regards to OnBase itself. That it would include support for your existing OnBase solutions. With our full staff of developers and project managers, we're able to help take you from where you're currently at, using just a portion of OnBase to maybe expanding your solution to include more solutions for HR, for records management, pretty much anything, any additional workflows you might want, any type of functionality to that respect.
So just to piggyback on that a little bit, for those on the call, really Penta's primary focus as it relates to the OnBase support has been on some of the primary functions within OnBase. So AP routing, inquiries, custom queries, but very, very little in the way of custom workflows and really anything that would be more customer specific. So in the past, Penta would have focused primarily on that core set of features and functions. And if there was something that you wanted to utilize OnBase for outside of that, we'd put you typically in touch with one of the value-added resellers like a Record It. So with this relationship, we're really just, we're taking it to the next level in that Record is now going to be in full control, or they're going to be leading up the OnBase support and upgrades, which will cover the majority of the core Penta items, but they can also assist you with some of those additional workflows, additional custom Unity forms and such. So it's really a one-stop shop. So Al, I'll hand it back over to you.
Yeah, and I think it's important to know that both the Penta team and the Recorded team are in close communication, and we're working back and forth. So there is a really nice channel between the two of us that, you know, should make the transition really easy on everyone. And that is our goal here, to make it easy for everybody. So just some of the things we can do: perform your upgrades, handle any and all enhancement work or new work within OnBase, also with the support role itself. So what's the first thing that we need to do? So I know that some of you may or may not have seen some support agreements and so forth that I sent out 2 days ago. Just so you know, I realized that there were some issues with some of those agreements, like the dates not being filled in at the top, or the correct date, year, more to the point, being put in. I am going to be sending those all back out again with revised dates on when the contract would be entered into and so forth. And most of that top section will be filled out for everybody. There will be a few things that people will have to fill out in the scope of work addendum on the second agreement, but look for those late today or early tomorrow morning to all be coming to you again, at least to the designated people that I have. But that is the first thing you have to do before we can start doing anything. Both of these support agreements have to be reviewed, signed, and sent back to us. So very important. Keep your eyes out for that. So now I'd like to jump over here to the Client Services Help Desk and give you a little introduction to our help desk. So this person right here, this is Matt Brown. Matt Brown is our Client Services Manager. He's been here at Record It since 2015, so as long as I have been. He is a certified OnBase support engineer and a certified system admin. Matt has a wealth of knowledge and leads a team of great people to support OnBase for all of our clients. Prior to working as the Client Services Manager, Matt had 2 years of QA and training leading into this particular role. A little bit about the team here. We have 20+ client services staff and professional services folks. Those include our developers, our chief architect, and his team. Again, just to reiterate, we're working very closely with Penta, and we're trying to, we have a great relationship between the two of us, and I think that's only going to get better as we move through the years here. A little bit more about the staff here. Everybody that's in a support role has had at least 2 years of OnBase experience supporting OnBase prior to being in that role. So when you get on the phone to somebody or you send in a ticket through the portal, you'll be able to rest assured that the people you're getting have plenty of experience with OnBase to solve your problem in a timely manner. We support many versions of OnBase, going back to version 11 and some prior to that, through the current foundation builds. The one thing we like to say is that we have a really strong relationship with Highland Software. In fact, a lot of us have a lot of their executives and other management staff on speed dial on our phones. So if we've got a problem that we can't get solved or we need some additional assistance on it, we send an email, make a quick call, and we get a response back very quickly from them. So what does our support hours look like? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. How would you submit a support ticket? The preferred method is through our portal. And the reason we say through our portal is because when it goes through the portal, not only the support staff see those tickets, but everybody in the company. So we all have a pulse on what's going on. That means all of our sales folks, that means the developers and the support staff and our president. Everybody gets these support emails. So if something doesn't get acted on in a timely manner, there's always somebody saying, hey, support, go check on this ticket. We didn't see a response to it. We do try to respond to most tickets within 60 minutes of receiving them during the regular business hours. Obviously, a downing type situation would be in a top priority for us. After hours tickets, if they're not a downing situation, we will respond to you within that 60 minutes, and it would most likely be handled in the next morning. Regular business hours are 7:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Central Time. But we've always got someone on call during those off hours as well. So that's how we're able to get to 24/7. A little bit about what our support team can help you with. Pretty much any questions with regards to OnBase or system maintenance, or how do I do this? How do I add a new user? How do I, they're more than capable of helping you with anything related to OnBase, troubleshooting of issues, obviously, and helping provide some guidance to how you would maintain your OnBase system and keep it performing at its top tier. So often we like to have a more personal relationship with the clients that we service. And a lot of times support may call up and say, hey, we'd like to meet with you on this and see what's actually going on your side. Can we go in and fix it? Just, you report the issue and we go in and fix it? Sure. In some cases, that's not possible. And in those cases, we can utilize any type of connections listed here on the screen to connect with the user that may be having the issue and troubleshoot it with them on a one-to-one type level. So just note that all of these are items that we can use, and you can pick any method you would like. So this is basically a little bit of what our support services kind of expects from the clients themselves with regards to connectivity, access to hardware, and so forth. Now, if you were in the Penta cloud, this is not a big deal, because through Penta we're getting access to all of these boxes on the back end. But if you're a premise-based, then this would really apply to you. And these would be the requirements that we would need to be able to support your system going forward. Login accounts, connection information, etc. This is a little view of what our client portal looks like. And this is where you would submit any tickets you might have related to OnBase support issues. You will be getting a separate, this presentation and a separate presentation with regards to how to sign up for a portal account. And that'll be coming shortly after this meeting or early in the morning from Randy. You'll get a link. Right, Randy?
Yeah, that's correct. I'll be sending that out to each of the participants on this call.
Perfect. So that'll walk you through signing up for an account and so forth. Now, there is a little bit about the account here. If you sign up prior to signing those agreements, your account won't be approved until we receive the signed agreements back for us, so that you can begin submitting any types of tickets through the portal. This is some contact information. You don't need to be writing any of this down, because again, we're going to send you this presentation when we're done. And obviously, my contact information is there. Should you have any questions or you need help with anything, please don't hesitate to reach out to me directly. I'm happy to help. And just a little recap of what we're capable of. And I'll let y'all read this. So with that, we'll go with if there's any questions.
So one of the questions that did come up in a couple of the previous meetings was, what do we do about logging support tickets? So going forward, you'll log your Penta support tickets no different than you're logging them now through the Penta support desk. For Record It, as Al mentioned, you'll be logging those tickets directly with Record It. If for some reason one of the tickets gets logged with Penta and it's really an OnBase issue, well, behind the scenes, Penta is going to transition that ticket over to Record It in the same way. It's logged with Record It. We'll transition it over to Penta if it's truly a Penta issue. So you as the customer will not be caught in the middle of that. We will transition that seamlessly behind the scenes.
I have a question on the, in the agreement, it specifies that one of the options is a billable hourly rate. Just a question to manage our expectations. If it doesn't take a full hour, potentially to solve an issue, are we still charged a full hour for the service ticket, or is it just actual time spent?
No, we do by the quarter hour.
Quarter hour, thank you.
I have a question on the connections. And right now, Penta comes in through us through a SSL connection.
Mm-hmm.
Or will we have to do some firewall maintenance and anything to get you into our network? Or how do you piggyback onto Penta, or how does that work?
Well, are you? I guess the question is, are you premise based?
Yeah, we are not premise based.
So no, then we would have an automatic connection through the Penta folks.
Well, Dan.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we're
right.
Go ahead, Randy.
I was gonna say you guys are on-prem.
Yeah, we're on-prem, but yeah, we're not really. But yeah. Okay, so if we are on-prem, then we would need to make some changes.
Yes, that's correct. We would need a login account for our support folks, individual login accounts. Because we don't, we want you to be able to, you don't want to just know it's somebody from Record It. You want to know who exactly from Record It. So we don't want to use shared accounts. They should all be separate accounts for each of the support personnel.
And what third-party software do you use to work with workflows? And are there any things that you can't work on? Like we use Austin Lane for our time entry, and we do a lot of SQL stuff. Can you get into that?
I can get into it a little bit. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these other products are database backed, right? So we can do things like direct queries back to that database, or if they've got an API that we can use, we can interface with, and we can write custom code to pull data from those systems and put in OnBase, or go from OnBase to those systems. So really, if they've got those types of interfaces, the sky is pretty much the limit.
Okay.
Right now we do integrations with lots of different pieces of software. We have some of our own products. We have cloud-based OCR products. We have BPO. We have a plethora of stuff in our basket, so to speak.
Al, this is Tom Baker, Heiko Construction Group, and I'd like a little bit more background about the AP workflow, custom AP workflow that we have that Penta. Maybe you and Randy can talk through where the handoff is between that custom code and OnBase that we'll need to understand.
Well, I don't think the custom code, I mean, we've already been reviewing all the custom code that gets used with the Penta product itself. And down the road, there's going to be some stuff done where, maybe, and I don't know, Randy, if you mind if I talk about what the plans are going forward?
No, I mean, quite honestly, we're for the short term, we're going to continue to support the existing AP routing product. At some point, Record It has an AP routing solution, and there will be some further discussions of how do we transition from one to the other potentially, but that's not going to be as of June 1st.
No.
That'll be a little further down the road.
Yeah.
Okay, so as far as support of the AP workflow, we should open Penta ticket first.
No, I would open that up through Record It.
Yeah.
Correct.
And then if it gets diagnosed that it is actually a Penta ERP, issue, then we would forward it over to the Penta team and they would be in contact with you to resolve that issue. If it is in fact an OnBase issue, then we would just take care of that and troubleshoot it like any OnBase issue we would get.
And quite honestly, there's not going to be, Tom, to your point, there's not going to be a, hey guys, everything goes recorded and Penta's not talking to record it as of June 1st. We're still going to be involved behind the scenes. So if you log it with Record It, they've got a couple questions for us. We're going to be working with them over the course of the next 2, 3, 4, 5 months.
Yeah.
Months, not weeks, not days, to make sure that if they do have questions, that they're getting answered based on the knowledge that we have in-house on how you're utilizing it.
Okay. I just there'll be clarification, because our main use of OnBase is that AP workflow, and our issues that we've had in the past have been specifically to the Penta customization to in that product that you deliver. So we'll get some clarification. I just see maybe a challenge of handoff, and we'll continue to talk. The other question I have is on the upgrade. We are going to upgrade this fall, right? So how will the upgrade be handled, and going through the whole upgrade is there going to be some interface with Record It in the process of the upgrade?
If you're looking at a fall upgrade, then definitely.
Yeah.
Outside of some other issues coming up in the next couple of months, we're looking to transition majority of the OnBase component of that over to Record It. So once again, Penta will still be involved on the Penta, the Oracle, the Linux side of things. Record It will be involved from an OnBase standpoint, and we're going to be the two companies will be communicating together, because we've got to sync up and make sure that we're doing the upgrade steps in the proper order.
And the goal, the ultimate goal, is to not link it to specific versions of OnBase. When we get to that point, we don't know. But that is the goal, to give you the opportunity to be able to upgrade OnBase and know that it's not going to break the connection with the Penta system, right?
Sure.
So that's one of the other things that we're looking at right now. So if you want to go to EP4 or EP5, you can do that and know that it's not going to break your connection. And that's where we're trying to get. And we're going to be doing a lot of that work here over the next coming months.
Okay, but for an August, October,
End
of August into October, the certified version with the Penta version will be used, and there's no change in that strategy.
Well, we are working at trying to certify EP3 right now, and we should know the results of that over the next couple of weeks here.
Okay.
So basically, you'll be able to go from, 18 SP1, I think is the current supported max version. You should be able to jump past EP1, EP2, and go straight to the EP3 build.
Right.
Okay, but we'll have plenty of opportunity to talk through the certified version before we get to our upgrade, so we're all clear on what version we'll be installing.
Most certainly, we will be having a number of discussions with yourselves as it relates to the versioning, the timing, and so on, as we get closer to that date.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome. And obviously, Tom, if you've got any questions, feel free to just shoot me an email with anything. And I'm happy to respond, or if I don't know the answer, get somebody to respond for you.
Okay. We'll pull you into the conversation of the upgrade, so we're all on the same page. Appreciate it.
No worries.
In regards to the upgrade, because we're also looking at this fall possibly for an upgrade, how's the billing work on that? If Record It is taking care of the OnBase platform, are we paying hours So say we have a block of hours purchased, is the hours you spend on the upgrade coming out of that, or is it getting billed through Penta, or how's that work?
It would come out of those block of hours.
Okay,
So if you're planning, so my advice is if you're planning an upgrade, and I think, you know, there is a minimum. So some of you may have seen the agreement, and there's an option to purchase blocks, 10-hour blocks at a discounted rate. If you're thinking about an upgrade and you were going to get, you know, 10 hours for OnBase support rather than going, you know, by the hour, then my advice is, hey, you know, we're planning an upgrade. Why don't we throw a couple more blocks on here and let's fit that in as the upgrade, and then whatever we've got left, we can use this year for support, right? So if the upgrade only takes 18 hours and you bought 2 blocks, you've got 2 hours left, right? And you may not, you know, 2 hours may not be enough for support for a year, so you might want to have another block of 10 just in case.
but I think I also noticed in the agreement, if we buy 1 block, we have the option of buying additional blocks in the
You are
future.
correct.
So at least if we buy 1 now, then we can wait and get an estimate of how many hours the upgrade could take.
Absolutely.
And then if we need more, we could buy. Okay, thank you.
You're correct. It's, if you don't purchase the blocks up front, we don't offer the block purchase until your next renewal period, which is a year from that day. Then you can get onto a block plan. And the rate is it's a little bit different between the two, right? Because there are some people who may never use 10 hours in a year for support, but there are other people who might use it. So that's why we kind of offer both plans.
Yep, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else?
This is Joe Smith with EE Austin. Our only use of OnBase is really for the Workbench feature through Penta. Is Record It going to be taking over enhancements and development of new features within and functionality within Workbench? Is that part of what you'll be working on, or is it really more geared toward workflow and other things like that?
It would
So
be
really, so really any of the Workbench related activity would still fall under Penta. Because there really isn't anything OnBase centric within the Workbench. So that would fall under Penta. Any custom workflow, any workflows, any other OnBase support would fall under Record It.
Yep.
This is Tiffany with Optimal. I
Hi.
just wanted to let you guys know that our service agreement needs to go to a different user when y'all send that out again, the revisions. So I just sent Randy and Al, I sent you guys both a joint email, just letting you know that. So
Perfect.
Yeah, we'll follow up with you directly, Tiffany.
Yeah, I found that with a few clients, Randy, where the addresses were wrong or the right person wasn't there or they weren't there anymore, you know, so we'll get all those straightened out. And like I said, I'm going to redo a lot of these here within the next day. So you should get those no later than tomorrow.
okay, yeah, we've already gotten 2 versions, one on Monday and then one actually this morning, or maybe it was just a reminder, I'm not sure.
Yeah, morning would have been a reminder.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, and it's not anything wrong with where it went, not whatsoever. It's just a parent company versus, you know, Optimal actually is the user of Penta as opposed to our parent company.
Yeah, it's funny when you do DocuSign and you realize that you didn't fill in things like dates, so you have to go back and do all those dates again for everybody because they can't modify those later. So that's a lot of what I've been having to do, and I just decided I'm going to regenerate them all, and I'm going to update all the contracts in there and send them out to everybody. So everybody will get a fresh set of agreements, and the next email will be the one that you'll want to do.
But Tiffany, I did see your email, so we'll definitely be following up.
Yeah, this is Tom again, Randy, Al. It will need to go to the CFO. I am the main contact, but the CFO will sign, so I'll send you an email.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you could. Thank you, Tom.
Hi, this is Roz at Ryan Young. Just want to confirm, and I haven't gone through the entire agreement yet, regarding the blocks. Because we're not currently using anything for OnBase at this stage of the game, but we are anticipating doing some investigative work on AP processing and some workflows. But let's say we didn't move forward with it right now. If I went ahead and bought a block and we didn't use the full 10 hours, does it just roll over to the next year, or are we losing it?
No, you do lose the block. It's got 1 year.
It only has a 1-year lifespan. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my advice is, let's say you buy a block and you're 9 months down the road and you haven't used it. Maybe a good idea at that point is to say, hey, Recorder, can you guys do a health check on our system? And at least get something for your block, right? And we're happy to do that sort of stuff.
When you say do a health check, though, that assumes that we're actually doing some, we're utilizing OnBase right now. We're not actually doing anything yet. So we're in the investigative stages of what do we use? Do we even use OnBase for anything?
Do they use it for archival, Randy?
No.
Nope.
I don't believe so.
Okay.
No, we're in the early stages. We tried to start this last year, and I think Penta didn't have the availability to even start a conversation, and we're now at this stage. But I don't know that we can get through this process.
Go ahead and send me an email with your contact information. Maybe you and I can have a conversation,
Sure.
And we can talk about what you're thinking or where you want to be, or maybe I can offer a little some different advice or some other alternatives.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. And that goes for anybody, by the way. If you want to have a one-on-one with me, I'm happy to do that. So,
Or if there's any questions that you have for Kyle Niekamp or I as one of your account managers, by all means, reach out to us separately and we can have that conversation.
in fact, Randy would say, send all of your questions to Kyle, or he'd be happy to.
So this is, I've I guess 2 more questions. This is Joe Smith again. So because we only use the Workbench, do we, I guess, what do we need to, what would we need to use Record It for? Is the OnBase and Highland license going to be through Record It?
So the licensing is still through Penta. So any on-base licensing would still be part of the Penta annual license fee. It's
Okay.
just any of the support or the upgrade side of things would be going through Record It. Joe, maybe we should have probably a separate conversation just to see exactly what and how you're using that, so we can then have a further discussion. Because once again, there's going to be a significant difference between the Workbench and OnBase from a support standpoint going forward.
Okay.
Yep.
Anybody?
Questions from anybody else on the call? Like Al mentioned, we'll send you a copy of this presentation as well as a presentation on how to set up your login accounts for Record It. I'll get that out to you, if not by the end of today, first thing tomorrow morning.
Look for new DocuSigns with the adjusted agreements for everybody.
Yep.
Well, thank you guys so much. This has been really good. I appreciate it.
No, it's going to be a pleasure working with all of you, and I look forward to it.
All right, thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for your time this afternoon. Have a good rest of your day.
You too.
Thanks, Randy.
Thank you.
Thanks, Randy.
Bye.
Thank you.